This is a quick caged idea to add to what we were talking about in our lesson. So the C-A-G-E-D, caged system. The C, the A, the G, the E, and the D. All chords that you recognize. And what you do is you're going to play a C chord using all those shapes. The first one is a C chord. And the next one's the A chord shape, and I'm going to do it with these three fingers. I'm going to move it to the third position. The third position being the third fret with my first finger. That's what the position is, the third fret position. And I'm going to play that A chord bar. Now it's not an A chord anymore because we went from the nut here with the A chord shape, which is an A chord now, to A sharp, to B, to C. We're just following up the alphabet. And the root C is the same pitch, the same fret and string for this one, this C chord, as it is for that C chord. So the principle we're going to use all the way up the neck is taking that order of shapes, the C, the A-shaped C, which is basically what some people call the left side of this root from the player's position point of view, and the right side of this position of this C. So you have the left of that root and the right of that root from the player's position. But they're both C chords, which is, as you know, C's, E's, and G's. C's, E's. So this is all C's, E's, and G's. They're just in a different order. This is C, G, C, E, G. Still C's, E's, and G's. So C and A. After A is G. Well, if you form a G chord with these three fingers and this one waggling around, if you want to bar it, you can. You know, you don't need to here because of the nut. But if I find I've exhausted this root, this C on both sides of it, the next pitch C is this 8th fret of the E string. So if I make like a capo and make a G chord, it's not a G chord anymore. It's just a G chord shape. Now it's a C chord, and the same sound that I have here, I'd still have here. They're in the right order to make that do, mi, sol, mi, do sound, you know? So that's our G chord. We said C-A-G-E, the word cage, so far, of the caged, the past tense of the verb version. So after the G is the E. Well, we make an E chord down here. I'm using the sort of wrong fingers so I can waggle this finger around and lay it on the nut. And of course we have our E-type bar chord. But here it is an E chord. Here it's an F chord, a G chord, sorry, F sharp, a G sharp, an A sharp, a B, and next to B is always C. So I have my C chord. But it's an E-shaped C chord. So now we have the C shape, A shape, G shape, E shape. That's the idea. Now the next one is the D shape, and it doesn't really, I've exhausted this root. The left side is the G. The right side is the E shape. And there's nowhere else to go up these two strings until I get back up to this C. So there is this octave, the 2 + 2 rule, 2 frets, 2 strings, same pitch an octave higher. If I grab my awkward shaped D chord up here, if you can see, there we go. I've got a D chord shaped C. It's kind of a weird one. It's really just back to this C shape again, an octave higher. These two are kind of connected. But anyway, C, A, G, E, and in a perfect world you imagine the D. Caged. Now what you want to do is attach a pentatonic scale. I'm going to do pentatonic minors. And that's just because we're more familiar with that, and we've been using that kind of pentatonic for the licks we've done in our Leonard Skinner type songs. So if I have this E-shaped one here, I got to put that note in really if I'm going to stay there for long. But it's still pentatonic shape that we're used to, and all we're doing is being conscious of the fact that it's C major and not C minor. But again, you can play C minor licks over a C major chord.